G'day viewers, this is Troy from Troy's Digital Arts channel. This is another camera demonstration video. You might be thinking that I've got rigged up a vintage 70s era black and white Vidicon tube camera. Well, this time I haven't. I've actually got a CCD black and white camera hooked up. This is actually a black and white security camera that you can buy cheap from your local electronics shop for about $60 to $80. Well, at least back in the early 2000s. Yep, what I got hooked up is my very first video camera. It's a little black and white CCD camera which I bought from Dick Smith Electronics way back in 2000. This is the very first video camera I played around with. Before that, I've never ever owned a camcorder or anything of such. But anyway, yeah, this little camera was primarily made for surveillance, which you just hook up at the front of your doorstep and sort of monitor who's walking past and going on your property, and or set up in some security area, just to monitor for burglars and so forth. Anyways, yeah, I thought I'd repurpose this camera for studio work, because this camera would obviously have its own interesting artifacts, and it'd be interesting to use it as a studio type camera. And it's, yeah, just looking at the quality of this camera, it's actually quite good for a cheap surveillance camera. Makes very nice sharp pictures. Looks even more superior than that of some of my older cameras. Anyways, yeah, the interesting thing about this camera is it's very, very sensitive. In other words, it when used outside or in bright light situations, the picture is oversaturated. Right now I'm running this camera in just normal room light, and it's making a very nice, decent picture. Although the blacks tend to look a bit shaded. I think it's probably a little bit overly contrasted, but otherwise okay. It's greyscales are overall good. But anyway, yeah, as mentioned, this camera does white overbloom and whitewash when used in bright light. Let me demonstrate. I'm going to hook up my cyclorama lights. So here we are with my cyclorama light hooked up, and as you can see, the picture is very overbloomed, and yeah, my face is pretty much washed out, and every other bright part of the image is pretty well washed out. It's kind of interesting for an effect, I'd say. So yeah, if I want to create some short film with this kind of effect, I'll use this camera. Anyway, I'm going to switch the cyclorama light off now. And our picture looks back to normal. Anyway, got a mirror here just to show you that I'm definitely using a security camera. Just pointing the camera towards the mirror. As you can see, there's the camera on top of the tripod. Tiny little thing it is. And it's mounted in my homemade camera mount to mount onto the tripod. And the mount is actually a ink printer cartridge. Printer ink cartridge. Get a bit tongue-tied here. Anyway, that's the camera. And another thing too, this camera doesn't require a lot of power to be used. I'm actually running this off a 9-volt battery, would you believe? So that's its power source. quite handy, that. Yeah, so there's not really much more I can say about this camera, but it's interesting using this camera as a studio camera instead of a surveillance camera, and the quality is, yeah, not too bad. Anyway, this is just a demonstration video of me in front of my very first camera, black and white CCD camera, bought for about $60 to $70 from Dick Smith way back in 2000. Hope you enjoyed this video. This is Troy from Troy's Visual Arts channel, signing out.